Welcome back. We have Allison Bach here on behalf of United Mutual. Well, welcome. Very nice to have you on.
Well, thank you, Lisa. It's a joy to be here on such a gorgeous day.
Yes, I know. We're looking forward to having nice warm weather in the next couple of days. So
Yes.
excellent. So because you haven't presented with us before, could you tell me a little bit about yourself, how long you've lived in the village, and why you decided to participate with United?
Oh, well, thank you, Lisa. I've only been here a couple of years. This is my second year in Laguna Woods Village, but I have a long association with Golden Rain Foundation that goes back to the 1980s.
Wow.
Having lived in Southern California at that time. But my background is really mainly in financial services.
Okay.
I was the vice president of Transamerica Life Companies.
Oh.
I was an investment advisor, a stockbroker, as we used to be called. So money has been my business over the years, and California is my most desired place to live.
Well, it is the most desired place for many to live, and we're very
yes.
lucky to live here already, that is
Aren't
for sure.
we? Especially on a day like this.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. And and it's nice that you have so much experience because, finances, that's one thing that really do want to keep a thumb on because we want to make sure that we can last,
Right.
make that money last for a long time.
It's been 60 years and we want 60 more, don't we?
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so you had a meeting last week. What are some of the things that were the outcome of that?
Well, the open board meeting of United Mutual was on Tuesday, April 11th, the regular open board meeting that everyone is welcome to attend, either in person or virtually or on television. And approved during that meeting was a very important document, and that is the United Investment Policy. Now, this policy sets the parameters for what we will do with our money, our very important reserve money, the way it may be invested. And professional volunteers spent a lot of time, actually since October, developing this policy. And it was wordsmithed, word by word, to get it right, to align it with our values, with investment policies of the past, and consistent with our fiduciary responsibilities.
Okay.
So the ad hoc committee under our treasurer, Azara Ascari, worked for many months, as I say, to develop this. And we did get it approved at our last board meeting.
Okay.
So it's in the implementation stage now. And with that now approved, we can go out and find an investment advisor.
I see.
Now, 4 professional investment advisor firms are going to be interviewed in a few weeks to come, and we'll try to select one to be recommended out of those 4 who compete.
Okay, I see. And then, of course, they will be responsible for advising you on how
Correct.
to make that money last.
Yes, and in line with our investment policy. Policy came first, advisement advisor is second.
That makes sense. And then, of
It
course,
does.
they will be interviewed based on your policy,
Right.
and they will have to adhere to that going forward.
They will indeed, and they will report in.
All right, fantastic. Okay, what else has happened?
Oh my goodness, well, we had a very successful town hall last Friday, and it was a sellout crowd. We had over 100 people attend.
Wow.
In fact, there was standing room only out in the halls.
Oh.
And because the topic was a very interesting one. The topic was, what do you pay for when you want repairs done, and what is the mutual responsible for? That concerns everybody. So basically what came out of this was that any altered items in your unit are now yours forever. Maybe you didn't do the alteration, maybe someone else in the past did the alteration, but once it's changed, it now resides with the owner of the unit to fix or replace. The key word in this is original. If you have something original in your unit, it remains with the mutual to fix or replace. And questions that were raised during this event, they'll be answered in our May open board meeting, so come to that or watch that. And there are lots of interesting topics, everything ranging from appliances in the kitchen to overhead to roofs and so on. So it was really interesting and broad covering. So.
Well, that's good. I mean, at least the residents here have an opportunity to voice their questions and their opinions on top of just the regular board meetings. That's good. And you guys have been having town halls now regularly. Yes,
we have. And they're very productive. They're also a way for people to mix and mingle. and to see board in action. We don't make any decisions then and there,
Right.
but we will field any and all questions. And one of the important items that keeps coming up in all of our town hall meetings is the importance of keeping your HO6 insurance policy in effect.
Right.
And it's easy to do. There are lots of insurance agents around in the neighborhood, or people can go online and shop it online and never have to talk to a salesperson if that's what's preventing you from
Right.
keeping up that policy.
Right, right. Well, and that's a good thing because some of the, like you said, online, most people don't really want to talk to somebody, but even some of their neighbors might even be able to refer someone as well because
Indeed.
they may have that.
Yes, yes. And I think that neighbor-to-neighbor contact is so important.
Yep.
You find out who's good, who's willing to work with us the way we want to be worked with.
Exactly. And, it's a unique situation with the fact that you have to have the home insurance as
Right.
well as the umbrella that we have for the community.
Yes.
So.
There's also a very easy way to find out if you're not sure what in your unit has been altered or replaced and what you're responsible for. There's an easy way to find out, and that's to contact resident services through the website.
Yes.
I found out, for example, that I have only 2 original items still left in my unit, the garbage disposal and the water heater. But now I know whenever anything goes wrong, it's mine.
Well, that's a good point, and I think that's what you clearly wanted to make sure
Right.
was covered. So
Right.
fantastic. Okay, and you have some other items.
Oh, we do. Coming up, this is that budget time of year, and we're all working on
Yeah.
the 2024 budget
Right.
process, and united to conserve our costs and try to slow down or reduce increasing property insurance costs. We have interviewed 3 different brokers, and we'll select perhaps a new one to represent us for our property insurance. Our property insurance is really, it's a huge part of the budget. We pay $3.3 million this year for $225 million of coverage per incident. So that's a big number. That amounts to about $33.29 per month per unit that we're all paying.
Right.
So it's really important that we try to conserve that. And every single expense in that budget is being looked at.
Right.
Lots of pencils on these numbers, believe me, this year particularly, with inflation, with carriers coming in and out of the insurance market. We've got a lot of responsibility, fiduciary responsibility to our owners.
Yeah, and the fire insurance costs are explosive
Yes.
across, I think, across the United States and
True.
across California, especially where you thought you weren't in a fire zone, and now all of a sudden you are in a fire zone.
And of course, in other states, and of course, the carriers who might offer us coverage are doing business all over the United States. So those storms in Florida, those tornadoes in the Midwest, they all impact the big insurance company, the carriers, and how much they want of California to be part of that risk portfolio.
Well, exactly. I mean, we haven't had an earthquake in a while, knock on wood. So,
right.
I mean, that's really I think that's one of the primary things that we worry about. But then, of course, fires are right behind that.
They
so.
are.
And
When
now-
you see that smoke on the horizon,
yeah.
and smell it.
I mean, I
it's
think for the
frightening.
most part, Village is pretty secure when it comes
Yeah.
to fires, but there still is some of the land out there that could potentially, and then possibly getting that another fire station that's right here will just help alleviate some of those worries.
Yes, it will.
So,
Yes.
All right, fantastic. Now, of course, there's, you're looking at many of the HOA assessments, and one thing I think is important is, all of these things go up, but do they ever come down?
Not in my lifetime.
And that's what I think we certainly would hope for, is for things to come down. So.
Yeah, they have not.
Well, we appreciate you sharing the information.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so much. It was nice to have you on.
Thank you.
And thanks for all the good work you do.
Cheers.
And if you want more information about anything that we have discussed, you can always send an email to General Manager at vmsinc.org, and it will be sent to the appropriate person. We'll be right back.